Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We. What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back, and we are back with Strawhat Sitdown episode. You know, 63. That's what I was gonna say. Damn, bro. I've been on a streak too, bro. I think like the past 5 episodes, I've been good on the number, man. Damn, that's happened. Yeah. It'd be like that. We're here with the crew as usual, feel me? Not as usual actually, because Mr. G isn't here with us today. He has a soccer game he has to attend. He has to coach his little tykes. So we're gonna wish him luck.
Best of luck, brother.
Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Good luck, bro.
Indeed. Still with the rest of the gang as usual. Strawhat Mod in the building. What's going on, my brother?
Nothing much. Just been doing One Piece Wars, but other than that,
Bro's been fighting the good fight. It do be like that. D3 in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's up, y'all? What's up? I don't know why my webcam is 4x3 today, but we just gonna roll with it.
I had to fix it a little bit too, but it's all good. We out here. Yeah. We out here with the black bars today.
You got the TikTok.
I got the
TikTok. Oh man. Last but not least, of course, that boy YHuss in the building. What's up, man?
What's up? You're chilling. Just hyped for the chapter as usual.
Indeed. I actually didn't realize that Golden Week was one of those holiday weeks where the chapter gets leaked on break week, because this has happened before. I'm pretty sure it was like Christmas or New Year or something like that.
Yeah, it was a Christmas chapter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this isn't the first time it's happened. I didn't realize it was going to happen this week, so it was a pretty cool surprise to get a chapter. Some pretty big revelations, some stuff to go over. So might as well
I just want to say, like, it's funny because this chapter is just like it's every sit down except the Strawhat Sitdown. It's the Revolutionary Sit-Down, it's the Marine Sit-Down, it's the Crosscut Sit-Down. They're all just talking. It's just a talking chapter, and it's fire.
That's crazy. That's why we here too. We got all the sit-downs together in one place. It's lit.
It's Tom. This is our chapter for real.
Yo, stay woke. Let's get into it then, right?
Yes,
chapter
sir.
1082. Let's go and claim it.
Somebody drop me the link real quick.
The link to the chapter?
Yeah,
I got you.
She's streaming it too, D3.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
It's all good.
You just used to that consistency now, bro. You always have to stream up. Because Cali's just too good, bro.
I'm 10 steps ahead. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got a regular cover story, another cover request.
Yo, I will say I saw Prometheus in the background, and I was like, no, fuck. Like you know when like you open the thing and you can't see the bottom, you can only see the top. I saw Prometheus, and I was like, there's no way Big Mom is back.
Yo, Big Mom, yo, stop.
I had a heart attack, bro. I had a heart attack for real.
That would be crazy if she just ended up on the first page of the chapter. Like, damn.
Holy shit, yeah.
There's a cute little picture though. We haven't gotten much in words of the last cover story since.
Yeah, so I guess that means it's done.
Yeah, I would assume it's done, right? Because normally we get like a finish or something, but I don't think he would go this many chapters without getting back to it.
Yeah, and I think someone said last time like that, like the way they ended could be a conclusion if you think about it, like with the Neo Mad. So yeah. Gotta
wait and see, I guess. Moving on to the actual chapter.
Very first page, we get a headline. Vice Admiral TBONE is killed. But the Navy refuses to comment on the details of the incident.
But it's just crazy. I feel like
I feel like this is a random ass character to pick to die. I ain't gonna lie.
you doing it dirty, bro.
TBONE.
Bro, do you remember?
Bro, T-Bone was kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was.
I think he was kind of sick at work.
Do you remember
so
this
I can't lie.
You remember this thing's biggest contribution to the story?
His biggest controversy.
Contribution, like how did bro? He fought Zoro very briefly on the train.
I remember that. Yeah, that's what I remember.
And in it, he showed Zoro a lot of respect. You know, he was a sick guy. He wasn't a bastard marine. He really wanted to do good by the people. Like he's a vice admiral. He's doing this story for so long. This is like, I feel like I'd be distant order for not killing niggas, but I'm like, yo, you picked one of the vice admirals we actually know, kind of. I feel.
I do respect it being someone with a name and that we've met before. I do respect that. I guess it's not random. I can't say that I felt attached or like not attached, but like I didn't feel any type of empathy.
Nah, facts. Would any vice admiral have you feeling like that?
Garp. That was random.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the obvious answer, though, right?
Yeah,
like, obviously, Garp, right?
Yeah. But other than that, like, they're all kind of scrubs.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody on this extent. You said who?
Totally.
Another one that's like,
I'm not feeling empathy if that bitch dies. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy.
Bro,
well, I guess
okay.
Bro.
Yeah, if he wasn't gonna feel Sue, he was not gonna feel T-Bone. It's all good.
Yo, it'd be like, maybe I'm just a pirate at heart, bro. Like, it really be like that.
The thing is, though, I don't think he's actually dead. Or if he is dead, it's because he, I feel like, because you said it earlier, YHuss, he's like a really good guy. He is. And like, first of all, he became a vice admiral. I could not see him getting snuck by what we see later in this chapter of the person that got him. I just couldn't see that. So I just think that he just simply either sacrificed himself for the sake of the people, or he kind of went into hiding or something like that because he was getting targeted or something like that. I just couldn't see him getting actually killed like this. Like, you know what I mean?
I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I still think he's dead because he hasn't had any significance for like 800 chapters. So like, it's a nice callback to a character, but it's also a character that had some importance at some point to show us, like, damn, these niggas really killing Marines.
Perfect character to kill off, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense.
I also agree with what you're saying though. Like, how are you getting stuck by this old man, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a little bit of like just what's the word I'm looking for? Suspension of disbelief, where you got to be like, okay, he got stabbed in the back by this old. And also, you might have watched Morge probably in that he had a great point in that that's probably he's supposed to be a good admiral, and we know that, or vice admiral, and we know that he's a good person. So he's probably chilling when he's around these people, right? And this would be the person that would lower their guard around regular people. But like, but I agree though. Like, if you think about it a little too much, it's like, how did a nigga with hockey get snuck? But hey,
T-Bone has hockey.
Right.
I think
vice
admirals all do.
Mostly have.
This nigga does not have hockey, nigga. I'm not giving him.
Not in his lobby.
No, why not?
Not in his lobby, but the vice admirals do.
Nigga.
He's a vice admiral.
They tell me he's a vice admiral without hockey, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
How do you get vice admiral without hockey?
We have seen this nigga one time and he got one tap, bro. I have no faith in this nigga.
By Zoro though, that's not that big
Right.
No, bro. The only niggas that were getting one tap by Zoro at that point in the story were fodder, bro.
That's not necessary.
Tell me that's not, bro. Tell me that's not true, bro. Come on,
not.
bro.
Hold up, because I think we all gotta remember something. Like, Luffy and his crew, at least the top monster trio, they're seen as abnormalities. Like, they're not like the norm. They be one-shotting powerful people. Like, sure, in our eyes they're scrubs, but like to the world they're not scrubs. They actually are fighters. Like the Dressrosa fighters, the Coliseum dudes, all of those dudes were pretty powerful. Like, they were the new world standard, and Luffy was able to casually go through them, but that's Luffy. Like, he is that dude.
Also, I didn't want to say it earlier because I thought I was making it up, but I think Oda said apparently the wiki says that it was said by some random character in chapter 594, but all vice admirals have hockey.
Oh, brother.
I thought he said it like this, yes.
Bro.
But he actually said that shit apparently.
And it only makes sense for him to go up from there because he was a captain when Zoro one-shotted him.
Yeah, and vice admirals are not that big a deal, Callie.
Yeah,
I'm smoking on that T-Bone pack. I don't know what y'all talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I'm on that T-Bone pack right now. It'd be like that. Oh man. All right, yeah. So T-Bone pack gets smoked.
Lastly, on the T-Bone section, I kind of said it earlier, but like he is, like I said, a good ass Marine. So Cross Guild is kind of making their mark in the sense of like it doesn't matter who you are, we're gonna murk you, and or like that the bounties are so powerful that they'll get people to kill even these guys, like the good quote unquote Marines. So yeah, like Oda picked a really good one in my opinion to murk. Like it wasn't some fucking piece of shit. It was like a really good nigga. So even more like damn, Cross is kind of wild.
No, yeah, because even like moving into the conversation with Sengoku and I think it's is that
Suru, yeah, Suru.
Right. Even in the conversation between them, Sengoku says the civilians we're sworn to protect are stabbing us in the back. It's unbearable. Like he even realizes that these bounties are putting a lot more pressure on the Navy than they probably first believed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they go through a conversation talking about the bounties on their heads. Talk about Pepe Kingdom. Is this where T-Bone was killed? I'm assuming.
Yeah. That's where that person's from. I guess it's where he was. Maybe
it's a new area. I think it's always smart to keep areas and island names in mind because they always come back. Zuru kind of empathizes a little bit, but yeah, just more conversation about the Cross Guild and the issues that are going on. Sengoku asks for Garp for him to try something, and then gets informed that Garp is off to save Kobe on Pirate Island. He's going to the Hachinosu. I'm not familiar with what that is or means.
It's Pirate Island.
Pirate Island.
Oh, Pirate Island in Japanese. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We then move over to Empty Bluffs Island, which is the current. Oh, go ahead.
We gotta talk about what Hina said. Scroll up a little bit. So he left Kobe. The Hina right there at the bottom. Yeah. So he's probably teamed up with Sword. I'm not gonna read too much into it because it's only the first translation I read. And sorry, I'm eating, guys. But that almost implies that he is not technically with Sword already. You know what I mean?
Think about that actually.
Yeah,
up with Sword.
Obviously not conclusive or anything like that, but it's a the and I was the one fighting for Garp gotta be in Sword last time.
Yeah, I remember that. YHuss.
Yeah. You know me, I keep it real, bro. I keep it real.
No, that's a really good catch. I can't lie, because
I scanned through that.
I saw that too. Is
that one of the things you were talking about when you said you want to wait for the officials to see?
This was the line. This was the number one line.
Yeah. When we get the official, I think that will help a lot more because that is a pretty damning line to say they teamed up with Sword. Which implies like they're not with Sword. So
already,
if TCB fuck this lineup, it's looking real rough.
No cap. Bro. They've been under fire a little bit.
Yeah, because they've been struggling a little bit lately, bro. I can't.
Oh wait, what does the One Piece scan say? Is it the same thing, or is it?
I haven't even looked at it actually.
TCB dropped mad early. Like niggas were like,
I did watch that, but I skimmed past that line. You know what?
Okay, you can open it. I was gonna open it.
Yeah. I was gonna just go through it real quick.
Yeah, you could open up and just let us know.
So yeah, pretty interesting line. It could always be, let's say that they got it right and that's exactly what the line says. It could always be that he created it but isn't a part of it. But yeah, it's just a pretty interesting line.
No, it's definitely worth noting because she wouldn't say something specifically like that.
Yeah, and she also does we already knew that like Kujaku, that whip girl is Suru's granddaughter, so she brings that up a little bit. So pretty interesting.
And then on top of that, it's just funny how people just casually like, oh yeah, Sword, when at the beginning they made Sword seem like this very secret operation within the Marine base, but now it's just like, oh yeah, we all know about Sword. Sword,
well, to be fair, these are like some of the highest ranking officers in the Marines right now, so like if anybody would know about Sword, it'd be them.
Yeah,
true. It's not like average Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah, but still, I think it's just funny how we still getting like people just kept like just because because like I said, Drake, like I said last week, Drake is a rear admiral, or he was a rear admiral, right? So I was in pre time skip, like he was going the pirate route or whatever, and being undercover, and it's just like, why did you have to be undercover if it was not this secretive? You know what I mean? Did he have to be a pirate or portray himself like a pirate if he could just do what he want anyway? You know what I mean? Like, I just thought that's like just very interesting because, like I said, like they made it seem like it was so secretive that, you know, a rear admiral is posing as a pirate, and yet we find out like all this time later that sword members could kind of just do what they want at the expense of a lack of liability on the Marines' end if they get caught or get done over or something like that.
I guess he was undercover and also in sword. Like at this point.
We need more on sword, man. We don't got enough on sword. That's what it really is.
Yeah.
I pulled up the scan.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I got it. So he says Garp left a couple of days ago saying he's gonna save Kobe. Seems like he probably went with sword. That is
still like a little bit of like a separation, but not as much as
it's not as much, right? It's a little bit more vague. To say the least. CCP is definitely a little more specific. We definitely gotta wait for the officials to see.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be really weird if Garp wasn't in sword.
You said what?
I said that should be mad weird if Garp wasn't in sword.
I mean, it's kind of funny, right? Because in Mod, I think it was Mod who was saying like he kind of already does whatever the fuck he wants for the last 20 years. So what does he need sword for? Or sword credentials for it, too, I should say. So
exactly.
He could just be chilling. Maybe he did make it, considering who's in it, Kobe and Hamepo. But yeah.
And it would have to make, and like I said, it still would have to make somewhat sense because I like I said last week, I thought this whole time that Garp created sword because of what happened with like Ace and stuff like that, right? But thinking back on it, Drake was already undercover, and unless they come out with a statement, I'm assuming that he was probably a part of sword even pre-time skip, and you know the whole dilemma between Garp and between his duty of saving Ace, I mean not his duty, but his duty to the Marines and his heart of saving Ace, was that it would be conflicting interests. But it's just like if he was a part of sword already, but he cared, he would have just done it. I felt like, you know,
that's facts.
And he already kind of does what he wants. So why was this Ace versus the Marines thing particularly different? Because, you know, this is directly going against the Marines in the most opposing way. So, you know, and that's why I said, like, I'm starting to not feel like Garp is a part of sword, but we'll see. But I mean, until you get the official note, we'll see.
Yeah, that's how it is.
All right, so moving on to the cross skill section. We're on Empty Bluffs Island. We go to Buggy and this old guy who has supposedly slain Vice Admiral TBONE. Buggy tells him that his family's gonna receive payment and that he can receive salvation, or he'll be taken care of underneath the Crossskill Pirates as a fellow pirate himself. Just a whole bunch of camaraderie between the Crossskill, who sees Buggy as this huge figure. Buggy has definitely come a long way from Orange Town, man. Got a whole army behind him now and stuff. It's actually pretty insane. Yeah, Oda. I'm really interested to see what Oda does with this character, because every time I see him, it's like more and more people just gravitate towards him, like almost on a Luffy level. It's insane.
It's funny you say that. It's really funny you put it that way, because it's if you want, we'll see what he says later.
Oh, you know, honestly, I didn't even think about it, but you're right, because absolutely,
bro,
that's
you really
crazy.
might be the last rival, bro. You never know, bro.
Imagine, bro.
Oh man. Yeah, so Buggy is hyping his crew up. One of his crewmates comes in and says that they finished the ship for the Cross Guild. They go to see the ship with Mihawk and Crocodile in tow, and it ends up being a ship with Buggy's face as the figurehead. Much to the dismay of Crocodile and Mihawk. These are some extremely hilarious panels. I can't lie. I was crying when I saw them.
Thanks.
So Mihawk and Crocodile take Buggy to the meeting room, where they end up hanging his head on the wall.
Oh, real quick,
Bruh.
I'm not gonna lie. When it said in the meeting room at the top left, I thought that was Lucci on the panel.
Yo,
I got mad
It does
confused for a
kind of.
second.
It does
I
kind
see
of
where you
look
can
like
see that.
Lucci,
Yeah, it does have the
yeah.
white hat in the top.
I got mad
Yeah.
confused.
You were like, Lucci, how? Like,
This don't make sense. Yeah, they fucked this guy Buggy up. I ain't gonna lie. They did
Bro,
him dirty.
I was like, what the fuck? And they just casually talking while he's like, bruh. I was like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah,
why
this is
they
a pretty
do that
grimy.
to
This is a pretty grimy panel for One
Yeah,
Piece
it
too.
is.
Mhm.
Like, I know this is supposed to be comical, but I'm like, yo, that's actually
It's
like,
pretty dark.
imagine, imagine if Buggy didn't have that fruit. That's like dead. That's someone dead.
Gosh.
Like that. I'm like, jeez.
No, absolutely. You literally see I think it's like the blood. Like you see the blood dripping from like
Mhm.
God
neck.
damn.
Like it really looks like he got sliced. Like, terrible.
Yeah.
He's literally saying, "Kill me already." He's down bad.
The pain. Yeah, they fucked him
Yeah,
up.
he's down bad.
Yo, this conversation is so fucking interesting, man. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
right. Because while he's
It
in
is.
agony, they're having a whole conversation. Crocodile's trying to expand, so he's saying that the public awareness has grown. The Navy started to understand that they pose a threat, and he's trying to create a utopia and become a strong military state. But he says before all that they need to establish something before he can finish. Mihawk finishes it for him and says that they need to establish the overwhelming power. So they're coming together on a higher level and scheming and plotting.
Yeah, I'm actually like impressed. I thought Mihawk was just chilling. He's like, yeah, I'm here for the status of being in a crew, and like not the Marines are not going to focus us on too much of a regular basis. But it seems like you said, they're really getting into it in terms of whatever this plan is. And then Crocodile mentions this utopia again that he wanted to create back in Alabasta, if I'm not mistaken, where
Yes.
he wanted to get Pluton and just fuck up the world government, take over the world. And Mihawk is kind of bought into this plan. Well, maybe it's not the same utopia. Maybe he rehashed it a little bit and worked on it with Mihawk. But I'm just surprised. I feel like this is crazy. We've seen Mihawk with some sort of ambition to create something and do something within the pirate world. That's not just chilling and fighting strong swordsmen.
Yeah. No,
This shit to me was crazy.
It is pretty cool. It's definitely a first because, like you said, most of the time we've seen Mihawk is either just swinging a sword or having idle conversation with somebody, or you know what I mean. It's never really of his own ambitions or plans or anything like that. I definitely agree. Interested to see where this duo, or I guess trio, goes forward. So yeah, they're continuing their conversation. Crocodile says he needs an enormous amount of wealth. Buggy cuts him off though and continues the conversation that he needs wealth and power. And he disagrees with them. He says, how can they call themselves pirates with schemes like this? And that they're doing it all backwards. He then talks about Shanks and how he's beginning to make his move. He reminisces on how they used to be on the crew together. They couldn't go to Laugh Tale. And then he asks them what they wanted to be back then. He starts to go into a real dreamlike sequence where he starts to flash back to, I believe this is, the day where the gold that Roger was executed.
Yep.
He flashes back to a conversation he had with Shanks himself, where he thought Shanks would lead a crew to Laugh Tale one day, the same as Roger did. Shanks says that he's decided to change his mind. He's not ready to go for it yet, but he still wants to be a pirate. Offers Buggy his hand, and Buggy decides he doesn't want to work with him. And he's mad at Shanks because he thought that he wanted to follow in Roger's footsteps. Runs off in dismay, and it's actually a really interesting flashback sequence.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever gotten these words necessarily from Shanks about Or this, I don't think we ever gotten this conversation at all from Buggy and Shanks, right? About
No,
Shanks
sir, not at
changing
all.
his mind
No.
about wanting to go for the One Piece or whatever. So from
Yeah.
what I'm seeing here, it looks like the way I see it, I don't know if I'm interpreting it the way y'all might have, but I feel like if Shanks was going for the One Piece at this point in time, that Buggy would have went along with him.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's. I think that's how
Yeah,
supposed to be.
I think that's what Oda was trying to show us. Because, like, before in this same type of flashback, I forgot which flashback that was. I don't even remember. I'm trying to remember if that
I
was.
think it
even
was
a
maybe
movie.
Marineford when Shanks.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Impel Down.
No,
when he was
no,
talking
no,
with-
yeah. I think it was Impel Down. I feel like,
Yeah.
but essentially when this happened, Buggy was Shanks was like, all we saw was Shanks was like, "Come with me, Buggy. Let's do the thing." And he
Yeah,
was
right
like,
here.
"No."
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
work for you. Yeah.
He was like, "No, I would never work for you." And then we never saw nothing after that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's typical Shanks, Buggy. But
Yeah.
here, this recontextualizes it so much.
Yeah.
It
Like,
almost makes you kind of depressing and sad, actually.
Yeah. It adds a surprising layer of depth to Buggy's character. Actually,
Yes.
I was gonna say this might be like the first panel we've seen that has some actual like passion with Buggy outside of just him being a joke character.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what this did for y'all, this whole thing, but this made me like Buggy even more.
Bro,
Like,
I've
Bro,
been
without a
I've been telling niggas that Buggy's the GOAT.
Buggy might actually be the GOAT here. Because, first of all, because we kind of didn't touch on this when we got to the flashback. The fact that Buggy is telling Crocodile and Mihawk, of all people,
Yeah.
that you guys are not, like, pirating correctly, while this dude is hung like this by them, you are, sir, hats off, like salute to you. You got cojones like a mug. Like the fact that he felt so passionate that he could tell them, and he was kind of respectful because he's like, I don't mean to get, he said, I don't mean to step out of bounds for saying this, but how can y'all call yourselves pirates? I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And like, geez. And then with this flashback too, it's just, man, Buggy's character just skyrocketed. Like, Buggy stocks are up right now. Like,
Oh,
they,
facts. And we're not even finished like the actual part of the conversation.
right.
He
I
still.
was thinking,
Go ahead.
no, go right ahead. I was just gonna say I think it's cool that he's telling them this and they were also there. Like he's kind of like playing to their like sympathies and how they must have felt when they watched Roger say those words, and like this is the creation. Dog, this is the whole anime. This is the beginning of the whole show, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Roger saying these words and started the whole pirate era. So he's like, "Yo, y'all were there." He didn't say that, but like this was when they were there. They're Mihawk and Crocodile were both
Yeah,
there.
because they showed that.
Yeah, so they know what the fuck he's talking about. So yeah, this is a fucking huge moment, man.
And then on top of that, like, first of all, this also recontextualizes Shanks too, because
Yup.
I seen, like, because I think for the longest time, everybody in the community thought that Shanks always wanted the One Piece, but it was until he met Luffy, he was like, nah, you know what? He's going to be the next Pirate King, and he gave him the hat and all that other stuff. But here, he said, nah, I'm not ready to go for it yet, but I'm still going to be a pirate. I'm like, really? So even back then, because I forgot what was the time period between this and him meeting Luffy was 10 years, right? Because Gold Roger died 22 years prior to the story. He met Luffy 12 years ago, so that means there was a 10-year gap, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not know the answer to any of those questions, bro. I was gonna let you go. I ain't gonna lie.
he got that stuff anyway. It's all good.
All right, bet.
All right, I just needed someone to make sure to check me on my math because I didn't know 100% until I started, like, okay, wait, 22 years ago, 12 years ago was when because I keep forgetting. Sometimes I forget about that 2-year time skip, and I don't and whatnot. But essentially, so for 10 years, he didn't, like, I don't know if he was even thinking about it or not, but like this changes a lot because now I had to wonder, like, why did Shanks suddenly not want to go for the One Piece and stuff, or he felt like he wasn't ready? And then I think a lot of people around the community saying this right now, but it's because it might have something to do with the conversation he had with Gold Roger that they didn't expand upon and Shanks was crying from.
Yeah.
Was Gold Roger telling Shanks, "I'm sorry, but you're not that guy"? Like, I don't know.
That's crazy. That's
Yo,
crazy.
That would be
I don't
so tough.
I don't know, but like essentially just for suddenly, because Buggy seemed set on, you know, going to get the One Piece and all that other stuff, because he's like, you know, he was like, "What? You don't want to be the next king? Like you're that guy." And Buggy, because Buggy said, when I said with Shanks, he's shown so brightly with potential.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew that. He said, "I knew I couldn't measure up, so I let go of my real dream." So basically, from Buggy's perspective, he thought Shanks was that guy, and he's like, "Okay, I see where you will be, so I want to follow you." But Shanks is like, "Nah, I don't want to go for it. But I'll still be a pirate, of course. But I don't want to go for it right now." But that was what Buggy wanted, and he was like, "Wait. So if you don't want it, well, first of all, that's a shame. You don't want to live up to our captain. But if you don't even want to go for it, what chances do I have? Because I definitely don't have the whatever it is, the potential power, whatever it is, to go for the One Piece." So that's why he didn't go for the One Piece. I'm like, yo, that's actually kind of crazy to think about, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it puts into perspective all the pirates that like lost their way, like Moria, Crocodile, Buggy. Like, damn, that shit really devastates you, bro. So
yeah, like
big character
different. Right,
Yeah,
that hits
100%.
different because you think about it, Buggy's been in the game, and also for him to tell Crocodile and Mihawk, if I'm not mistaken, Buggy was a pirate longer than any of them, right?
I think we don't technically know, but probably.
Most likely, I would say it's like a fair assumption, right? Because I mean, I don't think Mihawk was a pirate even as a kid, because he's only 1 year older than Shanks, right? Or something like that. So, like, you know, that means if he was pirating around, he should have been around the same age as Shanks or Buggy or whatever. And I don't feel like that's the case, but I could be wrong. But like, he's technically a vet, and him as a vet, Crocodile as a vet, Mihawk as a vet, Moria as a vet. All, like, if anyone would know how these guys originally felt, it's Buggy. And it's so interesting to have Buggy as the spearhead, as the person to capture that same moment from when they were rookies, or they were starting off as pirates or big names coming up. So, man, this is just crazy. like this is just crazy.
It's huge, bro. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Also, like this could be like the start of Buggy, whether he realizes or not, cementing himself as the captain of the crew.
Facts.
Yeah,
most of them already see him as a captain, but Mihawk and Crocodile don't. So like him talking to them and like inspiring them to, like, you know, actually get the One Piece.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if he's gonna have Mihawk and Crocodile at his beck and whim, but
I'm not gonna say beck and win, but they can, you know, see him as like, hey, like, this is the captain. Like, I could
Maybe
see
they'll respect him more. Like, I definitely,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, just give him,
Okay.
give him respect. Like, not bow down to this nigga, but, you know, respect. Yeah, you know, he is a pirate.
Facts.
okay. Okay, yeah. So we get out of the flashback, go back to the present tense, the present time. Buggy continues his speech. He says that Shanks finally making his move, and by the luck or chance, they're on equal footing again because they're both now emperors.
Mhm.
And since that's the case, he says he might as well say it. He wants to be king of the pirates. He says this with tears coming out his face, real exclamation to it.
Bro, this is a sick panel. This is actually like one of my favorite recent memory. Like in recent memory, it's one of my favorite panels.
It's such a good
so
panel.
emotional.
It is.
It is a very powerful panel. Yeah, just keep going because I wanted to say something later, but yeah.
He gives a speech to Mihawk. Wealth, power. Why stop? You can have it all. Let's claim the ultimate treasure.
And we haven't touched on it. It's kind of obvious, but like it's like he's just reiterating what they said about Goldie Roger, like wealth, fame, power. He attained this and everything else the world had to offer. So like he's just saying like let's fucking do this, man. Let's be on that same level. It's so sick, man. Oh,
Yeah,
so awesome.
and Also, to build on what you just said, YHuss, I don't know. This may be stretching or whatever, or like reaching or whatever, but I think that's pretty funny that the three people here probably known for or want something the most, like Crocodile's wealth, Mihawk is power, and Buggy is fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put it that way. Yeah.
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 But yeah.
So they Crocodile and Mihawk are absolutely not going for it. They smash Buggy into the wall. Mihawk says we're not going to carry you to the top, and they're just completely shitting on his plan. Mihawk sells a very interesting line that the community kind of picked apart. He says, "Do you really expect us to just go pick fights with red hair, Blackbeard, and Straw Hat?" First of all, acknowledging Straw Hat as an emperor, one of the first to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Goated.
Like that is Straw Hat Luffy Emperor. And secondly, the tone in which he said this, "Do you expect us to go fight all these people?" And then name dropping Shanks was a little bit of a fire I saw that lit under a few people in the community with the Mihawk Shanks debate. Nothing crazy, but just a lot of the Shanks stocks are saying that because he seemed a little skeptical about fighting these people, that he might be a little scared to fight Shanks, you know.
Yo, it's a big extrapolation. It's like obviously if you read it within reason, if you read it within like a logical lens, he's talking about just the scale of war. Like just the scale of war is too big. It's like, bro, whatever niggas want to read it, niggas want to read it. It's up to them, bro.
Yeah, I think that I think it's pretty fair that you expect to because the Mihawk people or people that are neutral are kind of saying this is okay, so Mihawk is saying, do you really expect us to just go pick fights with these people? They're saying, do you expect us to just do that on your orders of you of all people, type thing, which I think is a fair thing. Because my thing though is and I think that's a fair extrapolation because the simple fact, even if that's a Yonko crews typically don't like to mess with other Yonko crews. They just let themselves, kind of coast, and they control a part of the seas or a portion of the seas that makes it devastating. And I think Mihawk's reaction is a pretty reasonable reaction, considering that you're talking about dealing with other Yonko caliber people. I feel like I've seen this in the story where either Big Mom or Kaido when they had a reaction. I remember Big Mom when Luffy was Whole Cake and they failed to assassinate Big Mom. Later, she was talking to Luffy, and Luffy was like, I'm gonna come back for you, but my goal is to go get Kaido. And Big Mom was like, Kaido? You are not seeing Kaido. You are just straight up not seeing Kaido. But I wouldn't call Big Mom saying oh, no one can see Kaido or nothing like that. That's just her being real. That dude is a monster. She said it. She said
calling him a monster. Yeah.
Her of all people calling others monsters. So the Yonkos hype each other up typically.
That's fair.
So
if people want to fight Ma, they won't listen to you being logical right now.
That's all it is, bro. They just want static. That's literally all it is.
Yeah.
Back to the Go Buggy though.
Of course. So Buggy, headless Buggy, hops over to a transponder snail. There's some words that light a fire in every heart of a pirate, and it's because they set sail for the same reason. Gets on the transposer snail. Is it transponder? Is transposer?
Yeah, you got it.
Transponder. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He gets on the snail and talks to the entire island. He gives them the entire speech. What drove you all to the sea? Every moment you cling to life might be your last. It's time for us to set sail and reach out and grasp for what we desire the most. As he's trying to say this speech, he's getting stepped on by Mihawk and Crocodile trying to stop him. But he still lets out the words, it is time for us to finally go and claim the One Piece. Which just completely lights the fire on every single pirate in the island. We see pirates crying, jumping for joy, and just complete, absolute dismay from Crocodile and Mihawk.
That crocodile panel is so good.
It looks like he's biting a cigarette in half almost. Like
Yeah.
And I never ever seen Mihawk sweat. Like, I ain't gonna hold you.
No,
Like,
literally no cap, actually.
Like now, if there was one thing to extrapolate from, it is that. Like,
absolutely.
If there's anything to extrapolate from, because it's not Mihawk's line. I don't care that much about that. Because Buggy made it clear. He was like, "Listen, we don't even have to fight them. We just simply beat them to it." The fact that he said that and they're still sweating bullets or anything means that, like, they know, okay, you can say that, but we're going to have to confront them. We just have to. And, you know, you can't, and I think it's made pretty clear since early on in the story that you cannot be the Pirate King without going through the Emperors. I mean, Mihawk even said himself way back in East Blue that becoming the Pirate King is a more daunting, more harder task than being the world's strongest swordsman. Interpret whatever you want from that, but I think it's pretty clear that in order to get the One Piece, you have to go through the 4 emperors in some shape or form. You just can't like skate past it. Roger was the only one to able to skate past like one of the Yonko, Big Mom, but like there wasn't really a 4 emperors back then. It was just like strong pirates, and no one knew what the One Piece was, nor there wasn't a goal to actively try to obtain it. So Roger stumbled upon something that, like, you know, there was no need for obstacles. This you have to go through them, and Luffy knows that. That's why he said, "I want to beat all 4 Yonko" back in whatchamacallit. Yeah, Punk Hazard. So they know what it is. So Buggy's saying that, like, they're like, nah, we're gonna have to deal with them, and they can't renege on that because they can't, like, Buggy's the figure,
right?
So if they like, they can't off this dude, because then like that's just gonna make them all like,
right. They lose out on the crew because the crew is all behind Buggy right now. So they Buggy, they don't have any of their manpower.
Right, exactly. So I will say, when people are saying like Mihawk just doesn't want to follow Buggy, that is true to an extent, but some people are saying he doesn't want to be seen as like under Buggy. He's already seen as under Buggy. He's been seen like that since the formation of Cross Guild, and he was cool with that because he'd rather someone else carry the title of Yonko, because that means that they're going to have to deal with all the smoke. So Mihawk was already cool with that. So I know some Mihawk some deflectors are saying like, nah, he just don't want to follow Buggy. He kind of already is, kind of.
Yeah, so it wasn't this big of a problem. He wasn't this stressed before Buggy made his exclamation, right? So
right,
he was fine appearing underneath him as long as it was helping him and Crocodile, you know, reach their goals. But now that Buggy has aligned them with a new goal of such magnitude, it's definitely you can definitely see the difference.
Exactly.
On a warpath with complete annihilation, you know, like if they get unlucky, right? They fight the wrong person at the wrong time, the whole crew's done. So
yeah.
Right, exactly. That's why Yonko crews don't mess with each other like that. It takes extreme planning, extreme like circumstances to get a Yonko crew at the right place, right time type thing. Like, you think about it, Kaido and Big Mom's Big Mom was kind of weird, but Kaido's demise was like, that was super planned. That was super orchestrated. The level of planning and weeks and whatever of months of, you know, allocating resources, the whole Mink pirate alliance,
Samurai Ninja Mink pirate alliance,
like,
something like that.
All that, like, Mihawk and Croc don't got anything like that, and you're expecting them to like kind of just, you know, come at this crew because, like you just said, YHuss, any of these dudes any Yonko crew could get got by another Yonko crew easy. If so they know that, and it's just like Mihawk wanted to avoid this because that's why he stopped wanting to get hunted by Marines. He's like, I just want to chill. So it's like, now you're putting him in direct opposition against other Yonkos, and it's just like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely going through it. Definitely interested to see this. I think Cross Guild might be one of the more interesting storylines right now in One Piece. I can't lie, because we haven't gotten a lot on it necessarily yet, but it's definitely building up to have some major hand in the coming events and stuff. Yeah, I'm interested.
I'm most excited to see.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested. 100%. All right. Last portion of the chapter. We go to Kamabaka Queendom, Grand Line. This is where the Revolutionary HQ is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Or is it just where they're posted right now?
I think they moved it.
They moved, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they moved. Yeah, they're
Right,
here. I think it's basically they're just. I mean, they've been here for fucking weeks, so.
Right. We got some lookouts on the island who see a ship coming. They get ready to possibly battle. One of them says that they'll put 1 mil on a bet of it being Sabo. Turns out to be 4 vice captains of the Revolutionary Army of the North, South, East, and West.
Yeah, they're all under one of the commanders. Pretty cool.
I saw something real funny. Somebody said, you already knew what I was gonna say. That's funny. Something I saw somebody say is that damn kid really died and somebody got him his fruit already. The shorty with the robot arm.
They killed you.
It was funny. So we cut to Dragon. And why is, oh my god, this, Jesus Christ. Her name is escaping me. Yeah, I don't know why her name just fucking blanked on me like that. I'm actually mad at myself for that one. So Dragon's with Ivankov. And it turns out that it is Sabo who has returned.
Was this like crazy abrupt for anyone else, or was it just me?
Yeah, it felt really, really just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, wait, just like that? Like no, like.
I mean, but we all knew he wasn't dying though, right?
No,
we all knew he wasn't dead.
But I expected like a big surprise reveal of like, hey, it's Sabo pulls up in the middle of a fight, not just, hey, we're just gently coasting back to the island.
Honestly, I agree.
Yeah, it definitely is a little nonchalant, but
that's the best word for it.
Yeah, he is back though. He's back. He comes back on the ship. It turns out that. Yes, it turns out that wait, no, I'm on the wrong page. Okay, yeah, so he comes back on an Lelouchian ship.
Yep.
He comes back with Lelouchians, I guess.
I guess you say that, yeah.
Lelouchian people. He comes back with people from Lelouchia. He automatically gets attacked by Koala, but he tells him that he could not communicate because the calls would have been monitored. And then he lets them know that he wasn't on Lelouchia when the blast happened. We go to the island. We see everybody all happy and excited to see Sabo back again. We then see
Bello Betty.
Huh?
Bello Betty.
Bella Betty?
That's her name, yeah, Bello Betty.
Oh my god, okay. So we see Bella Betty talking to some of the Lelouchians that were on the ship that lost their homes but are willing to join the cause of the Revolutionary Army.
Yeah, this is cool because like back in the beginning of the Reverie, she was like when she fought that Pinkbeard dude, it was at Lelouchia. So it's cool that she references that. Like when the first time we see all their powers, it was at Lelouchia. So cool that she shouts them out. And that girl Moda, right? The girl with the cool skirt. In front of her, that's the kid that Ace gave the. I think Ace was in a cover story with them.
The cover story with the letter. That's her.
Yeah, that's her. I think.
The cover story was Lelouchia.
Yeah.
Oh, he was going to. I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Yeah, and there's a cool panel actually in one of the cover stories where he's like dancing. I think he's running away from someone chasing him, and he's on a bridge, and he's like, it's like a silhouette. You can probably see him, and the silhouette is doing a similar pose as the Nika pose back in Skypiea. It's like a bit of a. People were pointing to it, and I'm like, okay, that's something. That could be something. But
that's there's a lot. Cool.
Lucia has a ton of stuff, bro. So yeah, I'm just glad they showed this.
Lucia was so deep.
Yeah.
In the story, that's mad cool.
Oh, it's Oda, man.
That is Oda. That's Goda right there. We move over to a round table with Ivankov, Dragon, and Sabo. Sabo says that he heard about Kuma. But Dragon says that he might have been programmed to return to Mary Wa as a contingency. He said, this is Ivankov, says that you don't want the captain hearing what you got to say. And Sabo says, just hearing it might put your life at risk. I'm assuming he's talking about what he's about to say next.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So he then says that there was some major trouble at the reverie, and the chapter ends with him saying that he will tell everyone what really happened at the Holy Land of Maedra. It's the end of the chapter.
And technically, because of the schedule, is a break next week.
We
so
are on break next week, unfortunately.
Some whole shit, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We got it early, but at what cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Wasn't too much to break down because we do have the next. I'm sure he's gonna go into depth, hopefully, in the whenever we go back to this area. But yeah, you guys have any thoughts?
Man, oh man, we've been talking about this for a long time, ever since Wano. You know, and I think ever since we started this podcast, we all wanted to know what happened at the reverie. And, you know, Oda definitely expanded on Wano because we were talking about end of Wano. We really want to see the state of the world and all that other stuff. And Oda expanded upon it very well. But it was the details of how we got to this point that we were missing. And we're finally, after years... is going to get the details of what happened there. I feel I'm super hyped to see what happened. Super duper hyped to see. I need to.
Okay.
Oh no, I was just going to say I need to see how Sabo handled two admirals. I need to see how he became Flame Emperor. I need to see how the meeting with the fishmen and the meeting with Fishman Island and everything went. Did they make some type of deal or something? I need all of it. I need Shanks. I need to see what the Shanks and the Guru say. I don't think we're gonna get that, but
that would be crazy.
That would be cool, though. That would be cool.
We're gonna get that. Not from Sabo's perspective, but Oda's just going to hit it in the flashback because we were wondering for the longest time what Shanks said to the Guru. Say, I think that we're getting a full reverie flashback for the next couple of chapters, and then we'll see what Shanks was talking about with the Guru say as well. Because bro, the Guru say are making moves now too. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. We also need updates on the whole Sabo, Vivi, and her pop situation. We still don't know anything that would happen with that.
That's like the one. Like we have no idea what the fuck happened, bro.
Yeah, all we know is Vivi is alive and his pops is supposedly still dead, and then Sabo supposedly killed her. Him. Which one did he kill? Supposedly him.
Yeah, her dad.
And then it supposedly kidnapped her. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We definitely that is like the number one mystery. Like what happened to Cobra and Vivi? On there, and did Sabo have anything to do with that? That's the biggest one. And then, but oh man, I am so hyped. I'm so mad that this was on. This was on a break.
Do you guys think that we're gonna get to it next chapter?
Yes.
I'm starting to think yes, but I'm gonna say for the sake of not jinxing it that no, we're just gonna go back to Luffy and them, and everything's gonna be back at Egghead.
No, but that's what I'm saying right now. There's so many plot points going on right now, and the story is bouncing around between places so much in this one arc that I think it's just almost impossible to tell if we're even going to go back to this next chapter or if we're going to go back to one of the other 3 incidents going on around the world right now.
I think like in terms of precedence, like last 4 chapters have been non-Strawhat chapters.
Yes.
And also it seems like Oda with the idea of last time we saw the Strawhats talking about that incident and stuff like that, and in a day's time, Egghead's gonna be crazy. But it almost seems like it's like a bit of an intermission, you know what I mean? So I think maybe we might really get the rest of this talk right now.
No, that makes sense. No, go ahead, DJ.
I was gonna say what I feel like is they're gonna go through with the revolutionary stuff because I feel like the Strawhat stuff's gonna take a break for a minute because everything's gonna correlate towards each other in the end. It's gonna bring all these stories are gonna combine into one. So they're trying to set up everything.
Especially the whole Kuma thing, right? That's another big thing that's part of it. And like Monty the Goro say. So that's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, that is a great point. Because if we think about it, every single chapter after the Straw Hats, after Oda is deviated from the Straw Hats, everything kind of lines up, right? With like some aspect of what people are talking about is coming to Egghead, like Gorosei, and we're getting like the Marijoa backstory, or like the Reverie missing information, and then Blackbeard Pirates coming to Egghead and what just happened recently. Cross Guild is on the move, and maybe the Egghead Island incident has to do with all these things. So this is so. By the way, can we all appreciate this new style that Oda is doing? Because before we were getting like obviously a full Straw Hat centric arc, which is great. I don't think no one has a problem with that. Right. And then we get like little snippets of what happened in the world during that time frame, or what's going on and all that stuff. This is full blown collision though. Like, this is a full-blown collision of different factions happening all at once.
Yeah, and this chapter we got 3 different factions. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I like this. I like this direction.
Yeah, and especially coming off Wano, where it's so fucking secluded, and you had no idea what was going on outside. Yeah, this is such an interesting like change of pace and a breath of fresh air. Especially because at the end of Wano, remember at the end of Wano, Oda was such a hoe ass nigga. He was using the CP0 niggas. They were like, man, it would be crazy if Luffy and them won, considering all the turmoil around the world right now. And we're not gonna talk about it for 20 chapters. Yeah, we just know it's going crazy out there. Oh yeah, so that's why I'm hyped.
Yeah, no, it's Oda's the goal. You definitely gotta appreciate Oda. He definitely know what he's doing. We are heading towards the end, man. We're heading towards the end.
It's a bit too real, man.
Yeah, man.
It is.
Yeah, man.
We still gotta get Kali.
We got some time though. We ain't there yet. We still got a lot to cover, but you can see he's building it up. He's building it up right now, man.
Yeah, like what's crazy? Like, these major players in any other anime or manga or whatever, like major players like these get shown like throughout the entirety of it, like all the time, right? In some shape or form, like My Hero and all that other stuff, or Naruto or anything like that. If they hold the same type of significance, they usually still be shown decently. But with Oda is such a brilliant writer that he put these guys on like more of a back burner until like Marineford, and when it came a collision there. And then, like, when it became more of a collision at the Reverie, he only makes it with certain points. And now the final saga, it's like, okay, now I'm going to bring all these guys active, doing stuff, doing all this. Like, oh my gosh. And it makes it feel so rewarding because we just been, like I said before, we just been seeing snippets before. And now we got, like, whole, like, shine on all these big figures and stuff. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. That's about it for the chapter. I guess unless there's anything else you guys wanted to speak on.
A Buggy for Pirate King. That's about it.
Brother.
He's spitting right now. He's spitting.
Buggy
the true final boss.
The true final boss.
Maybe, bro. A lot of people think he'll luck into actually finding One Piece, but fuck that. If anyone thinks anyone finds One Piece before Luffy, I'll fight them in real life.
That's for Luffy, the true pirate king. As long as
yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
That's about this. I guess that's about it for this episode. We are on break next week. When the official should come out next Sunday though. So when it comes out, we'll do our break episode, but we'll start it off with the official chapter so that we can go through any discrepancies and we can get some clarification on that one line to see if Garp's real affliction with sword and whatnot.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today. Appreciate everybody that was in chat vibing with us. We appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube, listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Podbean, etc. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys follow the Twitter at Strawhat Sitdown, the Instagram, the TikTok, all the same name. Follow us everywhere. And yeah, that's about it. What happened?
I just say yes, sir, ski.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Indeed. We appreciate you guys. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Until next time, guys, take it easy, be safe, be healthy, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.